Hello friends, bigstupidgrin here, and this is another overanalyzing video. The League of Extraordinary Investigators. We've gone to the halfway point now. We just played Miskatonic Museum and the Essex County Express. So this is a look back at Silas's journey throughout the campaign. Before we do that, just an announcement. I'm going to be trying to stream the custom fan-made scenario on Twitch. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to pick a steady day out of the week, but I'm going to be trying to get more comfortable with streaming and having fun with that. Anyway, we're in 4th place as Silas Marsh. We have 8 league points. We're behind Ashcan Pete and Jenny Barnes. We have taken 22 turns in those first 2 scenarios, so we are behind Finn Edwards there. Going into the Miskatonic Museum, our strategy was to hard mulligan for newspaper level 2. We were going to fight the haunting horror, and then we need to spend all the clues we have in the museum halls in order to keep newspaper level 2 active, because it is really our main engine for grabbing clues. So what really happened, we did not get newspaper 2s in the beginning. We were able to find them later, which was pretty lucky of us. We actually evaded the haunting horror until we were at the restricted hall and had to fight him, which I was pretty surprised. We did have to take a decent amount of damage from the haunting horror thanks to its forced ability. We drew a few, I think 2 or 3 bad tokens, so it got to ready and move. That's okay. We spent all clues when possible to keep newspaper 2. It's pretty easy to do. You just have to leave victory points behind, unfortunately, because I didn't want to enter the restricted hall with a clue on myself. But we were able to survive, get to resolution 1. We burned the Necronomicon down. We got the Medusa exhibit, the Hall of the Dead, and the restricted hall as far as victory points are concerned. The Necronomicon there, it would be nice as like a magnifying glass, but it's way too much trouble than it's worth for us, so it was an easy decision. As far as luck goes, we did pretty well. We only lost 1 test that we were favored to win, and that's because we drew an auto fail. Otherwise, the only real bad luck, as I already talked about, was the haunting horror readied a few times. But yeah, otherwise a clean sheet as far as RNG goes, which is not what happened in the Essex County Express. But we got a lot of tests for the museum, so I think people with really high skills can do really well in the museum, and with us we can play and replay skills over and over again, so we were able to do that. We also got 4 harmless encounter cards drawn. That doesn't count Beyond the Veil, that never went off, so that's still a harmful encounter card. And then in between Essex County and the museum and Essex County Express, I thought long and hard about True Survivor, and I played a lot of tests using True Survivor. True Survivor gets almost all of our skills back, except for Perception, which is a big bummer. True Survivor has some negative synergy with Dark Horse, because we want to stay at 0 resources. But if we were set up with Madame Lebranche, you could take a free resource, then take the upkeep resource, and then grab a resource in the turn after, and then play True Survivor. So it would be 2 actions. 1 action to grab that 3rd resource, and another action to play True Survivor. It's still pretty slow, especially for Essex County Express. So I ended up not taking anything. Our strategy, even though I tested it a bunch of times, Essex County Express is such a random scenario that it's kind of hard to develop a strategy. But what I ended up doing was, again, leaning on Silas's ability to evade when convenient. hope that Newspaper 2 carries us to victory, and pray to the RNG old gods, which on this channel happens to be the Flying Spaghetti Monster. The outcome, we were very, very fortunate to get Resolution 1. We survived the train in spite of ourselves. We had a lot of iffy moments. We nearly lost a horror, getting surrounded. As you can see, this was what our final board looked like. We had a grappling horror. We had 2 helpless passengers. They're about to get thrown off the train. We were able to run through that train without before the emergent monstrosity readied. So it was quite it was crazy. Now, a lot of the train, Essex County Express, a lot of its RNG has to do with the passenger cars that you get. And so I wanted to show off the order of what we got. First one's okay, although 3 clues can be really bad if you're delayed or you get autofail tokens. But we didn't have to take that forced ability. The next one, we did have to lose a damage in a horror, but it's the easiest card to actually investigate. And then we got a Force Shroud, and we got 2 more Force Shroud locations, which Silas loves. So the first passenger car we were able to discard Overpower. The second car hit, so we took 2 horror from that. The dining car there, of course, we got the grappling horror right before the engine car, but we were able to evade the grappling horror and move on. Now, I shouldn't have survived that. We went 8 and 6 as far as chaos tests, and we drew 5 auto fail tokens out of 15. I guess it'd be 5 out of 16. Maybe my counting's off, but yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. We did get lucky, and then we had 3 harmless encounter cards, and pushed into the void, flipped over Dreams of the Deep, which was nice. The train has the potential of grabbing a lot of harmless encounter cards in the name of cultists, that if you're already in the witching hour, you already have 1 doom to go, and you draw cultist. It's not going to advance the agenda deck at all. And actually, advancing the agenda deck is really, really good for Silas because of Newspaper 2. Once the agenda flips over in Essex County Express, you lose all of your clues. So Newspaper 2 gets to get that bonus turned on again. So what's next? We have Blood on the Altar and Undimensioned and Unseen. Because I didn't spend experience on True Survivor, we ended with 5, so I'm picking up a Key of Ys and hoping that's another thing that could carry us to victory. And then Undimensioned and Unseen, we might be playing a little cheap against that particular scenario. We'll have to see. The thing is, the Brood of Yog-Sothoths are not elite, and they really should have been. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm bigstupidgrin. Hope you enjoyed your time here, and until next time, have a good one.